Whoa, okay. We're in completely different territory now. Never seen this room before. Really nice looking. We're actually kidnapped. Are we gonna just avoid the whole magistrate burning and things? Oh my goodness, okay. Let's find out. Afterwards, the men had led me, after tying me up, to the Tosa domain located in Fushimi. Waiting at the entrance to meet me was... Whoa. Ha. Ha. Hi. Hi. Whoa. Nakaoka, you were gorgeous before. You're even more gorgeous now. Okay. Accent. How do I do you again? Not do you, not that way. Never mind. Alright. Recenter. I got this.
Wow, who'd have thought she was Kodo's daughter?
Like Sakamoto, Nakaoka dressed in Western attire. As I was led past him, he sneered over me like I was some despicable creature.
Since you are Shinsengumi, I want to gut you nice and quick, but I have strict orders not to.
Why do you hate us so much? My wrist became sore from being bound together behind me. My question came from a deep grimace.
What do you mean, why? Don't you know? That night at Omiya, it was the Shinsengumi who had us murdered!
That's not true! We were actually coming over to warn you! I sat on my knees, trying to plead my case to Nakaoka, and he kicked me in the cheek. Ow!
Not just that night. At the Ikeda Inn, the Hamaguri Rebellion. You have any idea how many of my comrades have their blood on your hands? What could any of you shogunate dogs know about the state of our country right now? Because of you, Westerners are gonna take over Japan as a colony and enslave our people for generations to come.
Nakaoka's eyes looked like tears were beginning to form inside of them. He was right. Many of the Shinsengumi men had made a point to slaughter many nationalists. On that alone, he had a legitimate grievance. You're not the only ones who've had their comrades murdered. You guys murdered Inoue. A man who's shown anyone anything other than generosity since joining the Shinsengumi was just murdered in cold blood by the Furies! I wished to say more, but my sobbing stopped me. I knew that crying couldn't help me here, but it couldn't be helped. The tears blurred my vision. If I hadn't so needlessly out on impulse, then maybe Inoue would have lived. He had been like a father figure to me, looking out for me as long as I had known him. I had nothing to show for it, no way to repay him.
So what? Just returning the favor for all you guys did to us.
As Nakaoka continued barking his spiteful words, I bit my lips.
They're just some fancy demon from a fancy clan, but you have no powers, do you? So for us, Furies are the better investment, eh, Sakamoto?
I saw Sakamoto off to the side, staring at me with disinterest, and he muttered to himself.
Yup.
I was in disbelief to what I was seeing, and my heart ached as he just glared at me coldly. So had Sakamoto become an enemy of the Shinsengumi after all? I tried to keep myself in denial that any of this had been happening at all.
You know, never really thought I'd ever give up my humanity. But feels like I owe it to my good buddies, 6 feet under, to use my powers to finish off the Tokugawa era once and for all.
As Nakaoka monologued self-righteously, he shot me a hateful glance.
Let me warn you now, trying to escape will only bring bad things. Luckily, when you're hurt, you heal right up. So if you try any funny business, I have no problem punishing you without mercy.
Nakaoka and Sakamoto left me alone in the room, and I was still tightly bound. As I'd gotten some time to myself finally, my mind immediately jumped to Inoue. Aw, memories. I remember, one spring day many moons ago, I'd made a red bean paste treat, and he seemed to enjoy it so genuinely.
Delicious. You will undoubtedly make someone a very lucky husband, Yukimura.
Aw. He always heaped praise on me. Just like when we'd moved to Fedota Village.
Oh, you're pouring some tea for me? How kind of you, thank you. My, we sure have come a long way, haven't we? Perhaps it was fate that brought us together. Let us continue to support Isumi and Toshi together while we can, alright?
When Saito and Heisuke had left the Shinsengumi and tensions were high, Inoue remained jovial, doing his best to improve everyone's mood. I'm not sure I could possibly count how many times his kindness saved me from myself. I could imagine what became of his body. Was his body still sprawled along the frozen ground? Or had someone come for his head? No. I can't let myself stay trapped in here. I couldn't let him down by failing to fulfill the mission he passed on to me in his dying moments. Is anyone guarding this room? So I wondered how many men there could be. I put my ear against the door, but I heard nothing. What? What should I do? There's no way you're getting out of here, girl. That's just a suicide mission. This is your only chance, as much as I hate to admit it. I think waiting for Sakamoto may be better. From what I'd seen from other Shinsengumi members who had become Furies like Sanan and Heisuke, their personalities hadn't changed much. So that tells me that the shifting character was deliberate, and he, for whatever reason, is acting out on purpose. Of course, it also meant that the side of himself that he'd shown me was all an act as well, but... Just then the sliding door opened. Well, it's just as well I didn't try. The person who entered was...
Given up already, huh? Makes my job easier.
He still spoke with this unfamiliar coldness in his voice, and it made me sad hearing it. However, then Sakamoto then quickly moved behind my back and began to work on untying the rope binding my wrists together. Huh? I was so confused, and I looked back at him. Are you happy I didn't try to escape? Are you triple-crossing right now? We need to talk after all this.
Shh, don't make a sound. If someone comes in, it'll be trouble.
He brought his voice to a whisper, and his face. It was the same warm, adorable Sakamoto that I knew so well. He shut his eyes briefly, exhaling as if he had been caught in wrongdoing, and then began to ask me.
The man you were with. Inoue, was it? Went ahead and buried him in a grave for you. His death is kinda my fault.
Sakamoto bit his lip bitterly, casting his eyes towards the floor like an embarrassed puppy.
I'm sorry.
While I appreciated his sentiment, Sakamoto's words made Inoue's death just a little more real. I could only look down, and I'd begun sobbing. What happened in that fade? After spending some time shedding tears for Inoue, Sakamoto looked at me apologetically and took out my kodachi to hand to me.
I'm giving this back to you. It's important to you, yeah?
Thank you. I had a sense of familiarity and security returned to me when I accepted the kodachi. Thinking about it now, it was my father who'd originally passed this kodachi down to me. Considering how things went the last time I saw Father, thinking about him gave me mixed feelings. After a brief pause, I asked Sakamoto something. Sakamoto, why were you acting like that earlier?
Well, can't really fool anyone if I'm not totally believable, can I? Been trying to find out what Nakaoka, Koto, and Kaoru Nagama were plotting.
Nakaoka. I recalled the hateful glare he had directed towards me, and my heart sank. He really did seem to harbor a lot of resentment for the Shinsengumi.
Well, like he said, he's lost a lot of buddies to you guys.
So, are you resentful towards us too, Sakamoto? Sakamoto seemed to consider the question for a moment, scratching his chin before facing me.
You said it yourself, didn't you? Inoue's dead because of us. The grief of losing a friend, or your family, or your ancestors. There's no limit, really. When does it end? More than anything, there's so much work we gotta do to get Japan on the right track. No sense in wasting time with petty conflict.
His words relieved me. At the very least, he seemed to retain some of the kind-heartedness I'd grown to like.
So, that said, let's boogie. No point in us sticking around.
Let's boogie. Words I never thought you would ever say, but I'm okay with it. Where would we go?
Well, we'll wing it as we go. Come on.
Wait up! I followed Sakamoto as we ran out of the room. I have so many feelings. We were racing down the hallway when... Hi!
Hold it.
Just before the exit, Nakaoka appeared before us.
Where you think you're going? And what do you plan on doing with her?
Nakaoka probed his questions towards Sakamoto, who offered a nonchalant reply.
You know, we've been pals for some time. And I always thought we'd be a team, but... This isn't me, man. I'm out of here.
What did you say?
Now, this might be a little strange to say since I'm a Fury and all now, but... Look around you, man. This shit's bigger than any of us. You turn back now and you're dooming us to the same fate as what happened in China.
You stupid! We've been given a gift from the gods to defeat the Tokugawa clan!
The Tokugawa clan's already done. Hurry up and settle the terms of defeat so we can stop the fighting, or shit'll just get worse. This country needs people who will be able to handle all the political, diplomatic stuff that the Bakushin used to do too. If we want someone like that, it'll take lots of time and effort. What's the point in tearing it all down first?
Sakamoto, you're naive. We'll never establish a congress with big clans like the Tokugawa always in the way. If Japan keeps feeding its biggest feudal lord, then we'll never break out of this cycle from the Tokugawa era.
So what's your plan? Use your Fury powers to remove the Tokugawa clan from power.
That's right! Have you forgotten? Takechi-sensei, Izo, Kusaka, Takasugi.
That's a lot of people. Sui-san Takechi, a Tosa warrior who acts as the leader of the Tosa Loyalist Party. He was imprisoned on the orders of Yodo Yamauchi and eventually committed suicide. Izo? I don't know if I can find all these people. Let's see. Izo Okada, a country samurai from the Tosa domain. He joined the Tosa Imperialist Party and assassinated many people under Takechi's orders. And who else do we have? Kusaka. Whoops. Kusaka. No. No, it would have been here. Ah! That was lucky. Gensui Kusaka, a Choshu warrior who acted as the central figure of the Imperial Nationalist Party. He committed suicide during the Hamaguri Rebellion. Gotcha. Okay.
Our new Japan can finally come to fruition the way we dreamed it would. Failure isn't an option, but we can never face them in waiting for us in the afterlife if we fail.
Even if we take down the shogunate with Fury powers, then all the credits go into Britain and Kyoto for giving the serum to us. Should that happen, in the future we'll just be in debt to Britain. We'll never stand a chance. You think that's what our fallen comrades would have wanted? Same goes for Kyoto. He couldn't give less of a damn about what any of us are working towards. Soon as they get what they want from us, then they'll turn the tables on us. You think you could handle them then?
I'll figure it out as soon as the war's won.
Yeah, bet China and India thought the same thing.
Sakamoto, have you forgotten the Tosa days? Back when all those tight-ass samurai would tell us that country samurai weren't real samurai. When our comrades in the Tosa Loyalist Party were snuffed out, and we had to go into hiding somewhere, either the Satsuma or Choshu. You too, in order to defeat the Takagawa and end all of the injustice of this mediocrity, you've been working as a Tosa spy.
Yeah, about being a spy and all. As of today, I quit. Go ahead and tell the daimyo for me.
What?
Actually, better yet, might be easier to just tell him that Sakamoto died.
Nakaoka's eyes grew wide.
Sakamoto, you son of a bitch! You're just gonna turn your back on Tosa, your comrades, your beliefs, everything you worked for?
Turn my back? That's kinda harsh, even for you.
Welp.
Since the start of it all, I've only been working for one thing. The future of Japan.
Whoa, that was pretty. Sakamoto quickly reached for his gun and he pulled the trigger. However, Nakaoka drew his sword in the blink of an eye, deflecting the bullet with superhuman speed.
You idiot! No way a bullet's gonna work against the Fury.
This way, Chizuru.
Welp. Sakamoto grabbed a hold of my hand and he pulled away into the direction away from Nakaoka.
Wait!
Nakaoka attempted to run after us, but Sakamoto fired his gun back at him to stave him off.
Furies! Round up! Don't let them escape!
Nakaoka's shriek echoed throughout the Tosa domain residence. I think things just got a little bit harder. Somehow we managed to escape and found our way outside of the building, but... Hi. Ah! No sooner than we had exited the building had we been surrounded by a gang of bloodthirsty Tosa Furies, and I heard footsteps behind us.
Wanna change your mind, Sakamoto? You can take it all back. We're dead men to the public, and now we've been gifted another chance to make a difference for our country.
I've been dead for a long time now. I don't think it's a good idea for the dead to mess history. Gotta know when to call it quits, man.
Seems like you've made up your mind, then. Fine.
Nakaoka withdrew his sword and he began to command the Furies who had us surrounded.
Furies, capture them! The girl lives. Sakamoto doesn't matter.
All at once, the Tosa Furies took out their guns and swords and they pointed their weapons at us. Sakamoto! Suddenly, the air around Sakamoto had changed and he stood upright as he spoke to me softly.
Chizuru, no matter what you do, don't separate yourself from me. You got it?
Okay! The sword-wielding Furies had started to charge toward us with a frenzied look in all of their eyes. Sakamoto began unloading his bullets into the horde. However, the bullets were simply absorbed by the Mad Furies, who healed swiftly afterwards. You don't have any of that special bullets, I guess?
Huh. With humans, all it takes is one shot to take them out, but...
Sakamoto had a troubled expression, showing frustration at not knowing where to aim. The gun-wielding Furies, on the other hand, gave us no room to breathe, and they came to attack us. Then one of them went straight for Sakamoto.
Damn it!
Sakamoto tried to move the line of sight on his pistol to the incoming Fury, but there was no time. Instead, I reflexively swung my Kodachi at the Fury. Oh, good job, Chizuru!
Ah!
The Fury groaned from the wound, but the gash I'd cut into him had healed almost immediately.
Saved my skin there, Chizuru. But there's no end to this if we keep up.
Finally getting it, eh? Too late now, though. Anyone who gets in our way will suffer my wrath, and I will show them no mercy!
Nakaoka readied himself by getting into a fighting stance, and as he lifted his arm to move close to strike, he was interrupted by a gunshot.
Huh?
The gunshot didn't come from Sakamoto, however. Is it? Oh gosh, what is his name? Kyo? Is it Kyo? I'm like, gun, gun, gun. Who do I know who has a gun? Kyo?
Yo, looks like you guys are having trouble settling your business. Kinda rare to see you backed into a corner, isn't it?
I heard somebody's voice from above. That's my boy! That's my boy! Then the figure leapt from the roof, landing in the middle of all of us.
I could've just sat and watched y'all kill each other, but I can't really get behind letting this demon girl get handed over to a bunch of fakes either. I'll help you out.
This man was Shiranui, the demon, the legend. Alright, 2 pistol boys, I'm here for it.
Why, Shiranui? The hell are you doing here?
Word's out that the Tosas joined the Satsuma Choshu, so I had to see for myself. That daimyo made up his mind, did he?
Ah, I see. You've saved me. Guess I've been building enough karma to finally cash in on some divine intervention, huh?
Heh, whatever.
Nice, nice, nice. Shiranui just shrugged and he swiftly unholstered his gun to fire at the Furies.
Let's get out of here, Chizuru. This is our best shot at running for it.
But that demon, Shiranui, I'd seen him with Kazuma before. Was it alright to trust him? Heck yeah, it is. Don't worry about him, he's great.
What's the matter, Chizuru? Let's move.
Oh, nothing. If you trust him, Sakamoto, I trust him too. Yeah, it's a trust thing, and also because of Shiranui.
Great. I won't let you down.
You owe me one, Sakamoto. You better not die or I'm going to kick your ass.
Alright. Shiranui screamed, firing at each Fury one after the other in quick succession.
You idiot. Guns won't work on Furies. Who's the idiot? My gun isn't for killing you. It's to stop you from killing me. Don't you know?
So many pretty bullets. In one breath, Shiranui had killed every single Fury lined against the wall. All of the constant noise from the gunfire made my ears ring, and Sakamoto looked down at me.
Alright, Chizuru. Hang on to me.
What? Sakamoto? Sakamoto grabbed a hold of me with both hands, picking me up easily. Do I get a picture of this? Then, thanks to his powers, we were able to jump swiftly over the tall wall in one go. Whoa. Yeah! You bridal carry her out of there, my boy. Please bring me back down. I'll manage.
Save the request for later. We stop now and those guys will pump us full of lead.
As we descended back down the other side of the wall, the sound of bullets being fired rang out from behind us. Even though he was carrying me, my stomach was turning from the feeling of floating down. And every single bullet firing startled me, and I'd watched the tiny metallic balls whiz past us. Sakamoto, despite all of the chaotic sights and sounds, still found time to banter coolly. He's too cool, man.
Man, you're pretty light. You sure you're eating enough?
Now isn't the time to talk about this! You should focus on... As I looked into Sakamoto's eyes, even though his words were relaxed, his face was a little strained. What a man! Capable of offering his humorous quips even as we dance with death! Yes! Everything about this is great. To steady myself, I grabbed onto him tightly. I trust him with my life.
Hold me tighter.
Okay. As I'd started to embrace his warm, muscular body, we had finally floated back down to the outside of the residence. With Shiranui's help, Sakamoto and I had managed to escape from the Furies of the Tosa. From the distance, though, it looked like shogunate soldiers were retreating towards Osaka Castle. Sakamoto thought it would be inappropriate for me to go alone, so he had decided to accompany me along the way. Probably for the best.
Some soldiers are heading this way. Chizuru, let's duck down here.
Oh, okay. Sakamoto and I ducked down in a dim alley. Warriors, dressed in Western attire, were marching down the mountain path. Huh? They seemed to be holding a red flag of some sort. After we watched the group of soldiers leave at a safe distance from us, I turned to Sakamoto. Sakamoto, what were they holding?
The gold brocade flag. Means these guys are official Imperial soldiers now. That's not good, because now fighting against them is treason. No one wants to be an enemy of the court. So now more people will join the Satsuma Choshu.
This could only mean that the road ahead will be even tougher for the men of the Shinsengumi.
The Satsuma Choshu aren't hot shit, though. They can't afford to lose a battle.
Sakamoto, what are you going to do now? Sakamoto gazed at me with tender eyes, looking into the starry night sky before smiling at me.
Everyone already thinks I'm dead, so I'm gonna leave the fighting to the living. But I have to be the one that stops Nakooka and his little gang of Furies.
I could see this burden weighed heavily in his mind. I think I know how you feel. The water of life had been brought to the Shinsengumi because of my father. I need to do my part too, to stop my father from letting our country tear itself apart in the interest of foreigners coming and picking up the pieces. Sakamoto, may I go with you? However, Sakamoto's eyes became incredulous as I asked this of him, almost glaring at me.
Gonna be honest with you. Killing all the Furies meant killing all of them, even ones in the Shinsengumi. You okay with that?
Immediately, I thought of Sanon and Heisuke. Well... I shut my eyes tightly, thinking about the fact that they could be killed, which would mean that I'd never see them again. Made my heart uneasy, but this was something I couldn't run away from. Oh my goodness, you're willing to kill Heisuke and Sanon? Man, you almost smooched those boys. In another life. As I tried to keep my true feelings hidden, I was about to answer that I'd be okay with it when suddenly Sakamoto gently touched my shoulder.
Sorry. That isn't something that needs to be decided now.
No, that's not true.
No need to give an answer immediately. But it's something to think about. Just keep that in mind.
Sakamoto nodded. He turned back to face the misty darkness to the south of us.
For now, let's get to Osaka Castle. Hopefully the Shinsengumi men are safe.
I nodded back to Sakamoto, and together we made the final stretch, hoping to hear some good news. I can't believe... Really? Really? We're already at the final chapter? Really? I thought for sure Chikage was gonna show up or something, and we'd have like one more fight. But no, the demon of the hour was Shiranui, and he was just there to save us. How interesting. Okay. We had finally arrived at Osaka Castle. It was said to have been built during the Warring States period by Hideyoshi Toyotomi, and its enormous size truly boggled the mind. A general from the Warring States period whose policies and initiatives had a long-lasting effect on Japanese history. Actually, seeing it filled me with confidence that we held the Satsuma Choshu in battle for as long as we had needed. However...
Strange. If the shogunate wanted to keep fighting, they could just hold the fort here.
Sakamoto wondered to himself aloud. Oh, hi! When did you get here? Never mind.
Well, what's the point in holding down the castle when the Supreme Commanders run off?
Out of the shadows emerged Shiranui, answering Sakamoto's seemingly rhetorical question.
Shiranui, you made it!
I need to know more about this friendship, please.
Of course. You take me for some kind of weakling or something that'll get killed by a bunch of fakes? Well, I never would have guessed you'd become a Fury either.
Well, what can I say? Happened before I knew what was going on. Nothing to be done about it, really.
They had bantered back and forth, and in the middle of their conversation I chimed in to ask them to get me up to speed. So how did you two know each other?
You used to guard the Takasugi of the Choshu together quite some time ago. See, I always just figured you were inhumanly strong, but now I get it. You were a demon too, huh?
Yeah, I feel bad for not telling you. But I mean, if I told you I was a demon, would you have believed me?
Back then, probably not.
Sakamoto's voice dropped into a low tenor, glumly reflecting on the past.
What happened to Takasugi was unfortunate.
Shiranui meekly closed his eyes. Okay, so that was when you were talking about that guy in Harada's route. Gotcha. Eventually, Shiranui gave a melancholic smile as trying to hide the pain of loss in his eyes.
For a human, he was a real crazy one. Kind of a dumbass, but always entertaining. Well, I guess he died after doing everything he set out to do, so I'm sure he passed without any regrets.
True, he lived quite the life. Far more interesting than the average man. Rest in peace.
The two of them paused, both of them seemingly caught in the reverie of their younger days.
Oh yeah, Shiranui. You just mentioned something about the Supreme Commander running off.
Yeah, supposedly the now former shogun abandoned his own troops, returning to Edo on a ship when his cowardly ass saw the Nishiki flag.
After listening to Shiranui's story, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, the minute the Shinsengumi risked their lives to fight a war in his name. Inoue gave his life for this war. Lord Yoshinobu was the symbol of hope for the entire shogunate army, and he just left everyone.
Guess that flag's a big deal, huh? Always figured him to be just another selfish aristocrat, but I can't say I thought it'd be this bad.
Right, it looks like the Takagawa clan's on the fast track to self-implosion.
That's not true. I think this is just the beginning for them.
Okay, how stupid can you be, sweetheart? How do you expect to keep morale up when everyone knows your leader's a huge coward? No self-respecting domain anywhere in this country will stand by a Takagawa after this bullshit.
So what happened with the Shinsengumi then?
Last I heard, they're already on their way back to Edo, left a long time ago.
They're already gone? What does this mean? Sakamoto perked up upon hearing this, and he turned to face me. Well, I guess I know where I'm going now.
So what are you gonna do? Wanna go back to Edo to reunite with them?
You're going to remain here, right, Sakamoto?
Right. Like I told ya, I'm gonna stay here to stop Nakooka and the Tosa Furies.
Then I'm staying here too. Sakamoto stared at me inquisitively, and he asked me more assertively.
You sure? Weren't you and the Shinsengumi close for a while now?
Yes, but there's a mission I need to take care of that deserves my attention far more.
I see. Got it.
Sounds interesting. If you're gonna start hunting Furies in Tosa, it probably means you're gonna kill Kyoto too, right?
Eventually.
Then I'll lend you a hand.
This is the greatest trio I could have ever imagined. I am so excited for part 2 of this.
But what about the Choshu? I thought they were allied with the Tosa now.
I bear no interest or ties with the Choshu now that Takasugi's gone. It's about time, anyway.
If that's what you want, I'd appreciate it. That okay with you, Chizuru?
Yes. I think it would be great.
Great. Sounds like I'll have something to keep me occupied for a while now. But firstly...
In their next exchange, Sakamoto gestured to Shiranui with his hand. He wondered what he had meant. Was he waving? In response, Shiranui just grinned.
I didn't want to be intrusive, so I figured I'd stay out of it all. But now that I'm here, it'll be fun.
Hey, hold on a minute.
I thought Sakamoto's gesture had meant something akin to a farewell, but I guess it wasn't actually the case. Sakamoto tugged Shiranui's shoulder playfully, like two kittens wrestling. Suddenly, my thoughts jumped to memories with the Shinsengumi men. Speaking with Shiranui so casually like this actually made me think he wasn't so bad after all. Well, that's good. Might as well get into that mindset for the next route. I mean, bad for a demon, at least. If Sakamoto seemed fine with it, then maybe I could trust that this could be a good idea. I just can't believe it. This is so great! Afterwards, the three of us approached the seashore in Osaka Bay. There, I saw many shogunate ships, all of them seemingly departing for Edo. As we watched the shipmates work, I saw a glimpse of longing in Sakamoto's eyes towards the ships. Aw, yeah.
You know, if you get aboard that ship, you'll be in Edo before you know it. I can handle the situation with Kodo and his serum experiments if you want. Children shouldn't deal with their own parents.
It's fine. I've already made up my mind. I would be lying if I said I didn't care or worry about the Shinsengumi. But even so, I have my own mission, and that is doing whatever it takes to stop my father. Besides, I felt like I was about to say something, but then I stopped myself. Say it, girl.
Something wrong?
Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it.
Come on, now I'm curious. Say it.
Sakamoto seemed unsatisfied with my response, pressing me more strongly. I couldn't not answer at that point. Oh my goodness, you're so weak. When you act alone, Ryouma, you tend to act recklessly. For a second, he seemed taken aback by my honesty, and his eyes grew wide. Whoa. What? After a moment, he pulled back suddenly. What? Hi! Am I getting head pats, head rubs? What's going on? Hey! The way in which he jumped back startled me.
This is the first time you've ever used my first name. Does this mean you've finally fallen for me?
Oh my goodness, she totally did! No wonder he was startled. I should have been startled. I was just like, well, whatever. Ha! You go, girl. Ryouma whispered confidently in my ear. Well, it's not about falling in love or anything. Please let me go. However, Sakamoto only pulled me in closer to him, showing no signs of letting up.
Why? The ocean breeze is kinda cold. I like this better.
His voice became a low mutter, and his breath against my skin tickled me gently. But I felt a little nervous as his thick chest pressed warmly against my back, and I tried to inch away. But he only held me tighter, and I couldn't move. The fact he'd even noticed me using his first name made me blush thinking about it now. I just made myself small, leaning back into the comforting embrace of Ryouma's arm.
Hey, get a room, you two! Jeez, you forget I'm here already?
No, it's not like that! Ryouma, see, even Shiranui is saying this is strange too, so let's separate.
Who cares? Let him watch.
Ryouma's confidence only seemed to grow, and it made me shrink into his arms even more. Well, I've created a monster. My cheeks felt red hot, as if I drank a half bottle of sweet sake. Maybe, as our bodies pressed tightly against one another, he could hear my heartbeat. Soon, however, I could sense him realize how much I was blushing, and quickly my heart beat. It just held me even more tightly. Uh-huh.
Thanks for sticking around. I'll never let you go. You're safe with me.
His words could produce the most gentle calm. It made me think that Ryouma could sense when I was most anxious, yet he was so calming. It brought me so much happiness and comfort that my heart was safe in his tender hands. Although we couldn't tell what lay ahead for us, I could take solace in the moments we shared together. As the chilly breeze of the Osaka Bay blew past us, I was kept warm by the soft, loving embrace of Ryouma Sakamoto. I cannot believe. I was waiting for betrayal. So he was a spy, but we kind of glossed over that very quickly. But it doesn't seem like he... I don't know, unless they're going to go into that in the second part, but it doesn't seem like he really was using her. He just actually really liked her? Question mark? It's... There's so much to unpack in that ending. I don't even know where to begin. The thing that is the most fantastic to me is that him and Shiranui are actually buds. And we've got this odd trio that I didn't even know could be a thing, and I'm so excited about it. We're not going to Edo. They're gonna be here in Kyoto doing missions together. We got like our own personal missions. She's okay with like, you know, I mean, she just wants to stay with him. So she's like, well, you know, it'll probably be okay. Maybe in the second game the opportunity will come for him to attack Sana and Heisuke. Maybe she won't be okay with it, but maybe she will. That would be an interesting side to Chizuru, being like, look, I got this hot boy, I don't need you guys anymore. I guess it does fit her character though, because she's been all along, she's like, I don't agree with this use of the serum stuff. But man. So he's been trying to get information from them, but then once she was in danger, he's like, nah, we gotta get out of here. So we never saw sister, brother again, or dad. They just disappeared. Chikage's like, nobody in this route, as far as we're concerned. Man. So, man. This is great. I can't wait to see where this goes. What's our epilogue? This is gonna be completely different. Give me the epilogue. I need to know this. What is happening in life? Okay, still the ocean. January 1868. The Battle of Toba-Fushimi ended with the Satsuma and Choshu victorious. As the shogunate troops retreated, the Shinsengumi headed towards Edo. 4 years ago, I came to Kyoto all by myself in search for my father and met the Shinsengumi. I am going to leave the city of Kyoto, where I made fond memories with the Shinsengumi. And I have chosen to walk this path alongside him, to stop my father in his research on the Furies. Oh, we are going to head to Edo, without knowing what fate awaits us. We are? Is our father going there? I didn't get that sense from the ending. She's like, you're staying here, right? So I'm going to stay with you. Maybe they went to Edo because the shogunate armies are over there? I don't know. Or that's a mistake in the epilogue. I don't really know, though. I guess we'll find out in the second part. If they're in Edo, then they're in Edo. If they're in Kyoto, Rico Suave. That's the achievement we got. Okay. Wow, that was incredible. That was so different from all the other ones. It did not play out at all the way I expected. Huh. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you very much for joining me on Ryouma Sakamoto's route. It was... Excuse me. It was very exciting. I'm gulping so much air with all this excitement. But now that the good ending's done, unfortunately that means we gotta go and do unrequited love ending and bad ending. So who knows, there might be betrayal in those. Can't rule it out just yet, but we'll see. If you're interested in seeing that, I hope I'll see you over there, guys. Until next time, I will see you later.